we said a lot, but we're going to continue to talk.
Okay.
Because, we look at this, the fact that the Senator Morse stood up for African Americans in the Senate, like the story we heard in the paper, it means something. It means that he recognized the individuality and the humanity of people who were not European, whose ancestors created cloth like this and who had different ways of expressing themselves. And then he understood that this is something that was of value. And I just want to recognize that African peoples appreciate to be that opportunity to be ourselves. And that's what we ask for. We ask to let us be creative. Let us be inventive. Let us add to the fabric of the American family. And I think that Senator Wayne Morse's efforts in the Senate and in his life really made way for that. And I appreciate that. And it's just amazing that we have actually family member here who really cares about your grandfather and your family's the efforts and sacrifices, because let's not be unclear that he himself had to take ridicule. He had to take avarice against people who opposed his views. And
Edgar Hoover had a file on him. They couldn't get anything on him because there were no scandals.
had a file. But so we honor that, and this is very simple. I just, look at this wall. I tried to clean the smudges. We got work to do, okay, you guys? But we honor him anyway. Thank you. And would you like to talk about the actual photograph?
I did talk about it earlier.
But just do it again.
So the photograph was taken in 1947. This is what it reads on the bottom. Wayne Morse, 1945 through 69. He was our senator for Missouri. Member of the National Association for Advancement of Colored People, 1946 through 1974. NAACP Board of Directors, NAACP Vice President. This picture is a closing session of the 38th Annual Conference of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People at the Lincoln Memorial on June 29, 1947. The speakers that you'll see who are standing up, who are sitting down, are Wayne Morse, Eleanor Roosevelt, President Harry S. Truman. Let it be known that this is the first time that a sitting president ever spoke to the NAACP in 1947. Let it be known that.
The only?
The first time.
The first time, not the only. I was
we have
there.
a present president who refused to speak today.
Twice.
Oh, no way.
And so, but President Obama in 2015 spoke there, and I had the opportunity to listen to Obama, and it's very interesting. It's sad. I listened to Obama speak about the unveiling of this criminal justice reform in the United States of America, which Trump is kind of trying to reverse. But he spoke about his reform, and about a couple days before he would be the first sitting president to visit a federal prison. And so I heard him speak eloquently about the need to trust the police department, and that we need to have reform within the police department. That next day I arrived in Eugene, Oregon, to my nephew being tased twice by the Eugene police, and my sister, who had called the Eugene police to help with her nephew who was having a mental breakdown, being thrown to the ground and arrested and spending the night in jail. And so that was the juxtaposition that happened here in Eugene in 2015 at the 106th convention of the NAACP. So I heard him, and then the next day that happened here in Eugene. So that's an ongoing situation. September, we're going to trial. The Eugene Police Department is refuting that they did anything wrong, and that we are going to trial here in the state of in Eugene on September to sue the Eugene Police Department for excessive force against my sister and my nephew. And so that's an ongoing thing. So this is real time. I just want to say that this is the 38th annual convention of the NAACP. I was just returned last week from the 108th annual convention of the NAACP, which was held in Baltimore, Maryland. I was there, Eric Holder was there, Kamala Harris was there, Bernie Sanders was there. They all spoke in favor of the agenda of the NAACP. But I have to tell you that we have made many steps backward from the picture where we have the President of the United States and a leading senator from Oregon who is a progressive, and at a time when Eleanor Roosevelt, who is a progressive and who she was the reason the integration of the military happened.
That's true.
She pushed that. So let us recognize that it's been 70 years.
Well, let's also recognize too that there was a lot of strife at that time.
Oh, yeah.
There was GIs in Washington trying to get their GI Bill. They were fighting against the government, especially the black GIs, because they were banned from giving it because they were an agrarian society. They were ripped off. So this picture really holds some truth. And not soon after this picture, history shows, they cleared the Capitol Mall of all those who were squatters protesting against the government not giving them the GI Bill, the money that was owed to them.
So it was not as though it was all a sunny picture. Right. But what it was is that there were those who had stood their ground and said, this is where we stand. And 70 years later, we're being challenged again. And so the humble setting of the Mims house, this is CB and Annie Mims, came from Texas in 1948, moved in his house in 1948. Very close to the proximity of this picture. And yes, please. And so this is our modest book collection. We are beginning a project to have an African American library that anyone can come to this house and read. Right already, if you look through there, there's a wealth of information from African authors about African peoples and whatnot. This is all due to Senator Ron Wyden and an effort by the Library of Congress. We've told them that the Mims House wants to be a library and a resource for the community. Will you send us all your surplus books from the Library of Congress that have to do with African Americans? And so far I've received like 5-6 books, and that's what that represents. And I was told today by June that would continue. So anything you have, if you'd like to contribute to the Mims House, African art, Lisa, yes, this is your dad's. Thank you for supporting.
A bunch of books?
Yeah, we want to bring whatever art, history that we can and house it here in the house. And the same with the spirit of Senator Wayne Morse.
Well, I thought I'd get out of the way so people could get a
So I'm out.